Morning, everybody. David Shapiro here with another video. Today, we are going to be playing 20 questions with GPT-3. Um, I was inspired because last night I hosted an Equinox bonfire, and as depicted here, sorry for the shaky cam. I was using the night sight, and I guess I wasn't holding the camera that steady. But by the end of the night, there was a game of 20 questions going around, and I was just thinking to myself, this is a word game. This is a perfect use case for GPT-3. Now, I am also collecting new use cases for a fine tuning project, and I'm particularly interested in nonprofit and education use cases. So if you have any ideas for a fine tuning project, please let me know. I asked on Twitter and I got a few leads. Anyways, getting distracted. Let's focus on today, which is a game. Obviously GPT-3, it can't drink a beer with you or help you build a bonfire, but maybe it can help you have a little bit of fun and cut loose. Okay, so what are the rules? Different people play 20 questions differently, where like you can ask a categorical question like, person, place, or thing. That's how I learned originally. Where it's like you give a one word answer, but I looked up the rules and it's apparently yes or no, which makes it even easier to play with a machine. So the step one, the machine picks a secret word, phrase, concept, so on. The user must ask yes or no questions, and I guess it could be users. Um, and then the machine must answer yes or no, unless it's a bad question. I guess so. If it's a bad question, the machine must refuse to answer and tell you to take a hike. And then bad questions count against your total. So if you ask, if you don't ask if you don't ask a yes or no question, then you get you lose some questions remaining. Yeah. Okay. So we got to start with some prompt engineering. So first thing we want is for the model to pick a word. UID generator. So since we want a lot of randomness, we'll start off with the UUID technique, which just adds a little bit more entropy, and then we'll say like, well, let's just do it and just like pick a random word. Development. Okay. Whoops. Drawer. Okay. So we need to model. What are you doing? Oh, I know what's going on. Okay. Okay. I was hitting the wrong key. Okay. Soccer. Okay, good. And it gave me a UUID. That's no good. Actually, I think you can hit regenerate. There we go. One. Bad. Cowshed. Predicted a completion that ends with a stop sequence. Food. Okay. We might need to do few shot with this. Okay, so yeah, because if we give it here, I've actually got a writing tool, random word, um, Ultian. So what we can do is it's literally just randomword.com. I love this because it gives you rare words. Like it doesn't give you a distribution based on commonality of words. It just like takes a dictionary and just throws a dart at a dartboard. Um, I wonder if I could actually use this as a well, I guess you don't want it to be too you don't want to go too like, because who's going to guess Ultion? That's super hard, but actually that's a use case. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Let's see. Let's see. Difficulty. Um, let's or here just choose difficulty level based upon commonality of words. Okay, so I've found some vocabulary lists. Wow, my mouth is not awake. And I was like, these aren't good. Like eyeball, like I, that's okay, but right, that would not be necessarily a good 20 questions one. End, that would be kind of difficult. We can make these some more on like the more advanced one, but what I'm doing now is I'm generating a list of lists basically to accumulate here. So we'll have common words. So we've got like here's some food items, here's some like physical things. And so what I'll do is I'll dynamically generate. I'll pull a sampling from this file once I clean it up, and we will use that to populate that prompt that I was showing you to generate the next random thing. So write a long list of let's see, the most famous people in history. And so then we'll start with like George Washington because duh, and then we'll do Cleopatra, and then Confucius. So we want to tell it like globally, right? So we got America, Egypt, China. That should be a good start. Michael Jackson, Princess Diana, Tiger Woods. There we go. And then randomly Winston Churchill. You don't get a space, Winston Churchill. Okay. Okay, so then we got famous people of the most famous places in the world. And so then we'll do like New York City, we'll do the Eiffel Tower, then let's see, Grand Canyon. Here, we'll take out the because that's just going to get superfluous. Um, let's see, Nile River. Um, what is the name of that temple in India? Um, Angkor Wat is that? That's not in India though, is it? Again, we want it. We want to tell it like think global, because if you don't, GPT-3 just it always defaults to being very American centric for some reason. Okay, there we go. Sequencing genome. That's not a place, GPT-3. Nice try. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Um, I guess let's do like monuments and historical sites. Let's see what it gives us. Interesting. Whoops. Some of these are pretty cool. A lot of them are Rome, so very Western centric. I guess I did say historical sites. Um, that's fine. Anyways, we don't need an empirical list. All we need is something to draw from. So let's get rid of those lines, and then those. We got famous people, and this is for the easy one, anyways. Okay, so we will find and replace dash with nothing. And then we'll also find and replace space with nothing. There we go. Okay, so now we've got a list of common words. So then what we'll do is we will, let's see, do we have from random import seed choice? All right, so what we're going to do is clear this out. To do choose difficulty. I might just have it where you just swap a variable. Okay, but let's see. Seed. So we'll get some. We'll start with some entropy. I actually found you don't want to call seed repeatedly, because then you kind of even though it does introduce some entropy, you're basically starting over, and so you end up with it'll often make similar choice. Whoops. Cancel. What I don't know what I did. Okay. It'll often make similar choices. So you just call seed once or intermittently. Okay, so then we say seed words equals open file, and we'll do common words dot text split lines. And so what this will do is it will open this. My precision is low. Did I change my mouse resolution? So it'll open this, and we will grab. Actually, no, I don't need. I need sample. Sample. Okay. And so then let's see. Sampling equals sample. I think you put it in seed words and then 10, and then we'll do print sampling. All right, let's make sure I did that right. Python, 20 questions. There we go. Okay. So basically what we'll do is we will start with a random sampling, and then we will build a prompt from that. So the prompt equals, we'll start with string string UUID4. Take that out. Did I it didn't print it out, that's fine. String UUID4, and then we will do for S in sampling. Here, we can obfuscate this. And actually, we'll just do it this way. All right, so prompt equals that. So for S in sampling, or yeah, sample seed words 10, we'll do, come back here and look at my history. Yeah, that's what it was. Come back a little ways. I did a whole bunch of these. Good grief, I did way more than I thought I did. How many times did I click on this darn thing? Oh, I went back too far. There we go. Okay, so we want it to look like this. Oops. So we'll just pick a random word. Let's see. Prompt equals prompt plus, and we'll do new line. Pick a random word, %s, and then sample. And that should end up giving us this. So that'll be perfect. And then we'll do prompt equals, and we'll just do the same thing, but instead we will exclude that. And that is going to be the prompt. So then we'll just do print prompt. Yeah, cool. Mahatma Gandhi, Christopher Columbus. Why are they missing spaces? Oh, whoops. I removed all spaces. Okay, so here's a regex trick. You see how a lot of these have a space at the beginning, but then they have spaces here? What I did was I accidentally removed all spaces. So what we need to do is we need to remove only spaces at the beginning. So what you do is you do caret, which tells it start at the beginning of the string, and then you do \s for white space, and then you do replace all, and so that replaced only the spaces at the beginning while preserving the rest. All right. Confucius, Julius Irving, salt, tomatoes, onions, street, pasta, house, computer, milk. That's a lot of food. I think I just have a lot of food in here. But this is easy, right? It's supposed to be easy enough to play with a kid. So we'll go with it for now. But we can also generate plenty more common words and places and things if we want. But we got a good mix. Okay, so now let's plug this into our playground. Do a quick refresh. Okay, and then turn the temperature back up. Blue. Ship. Spoon. Sunflower. Soup. You see, we're not getting the United States of America every other turn. Boat. Fish. Spice. Spaghetti. Boat. Dairy. Truck. Salmon. Dallas Cowboys. Soup. Desk. Eiffel Tower. Gospel. Soap. All right, soap pops up a lot. But so anyways, because we're picking a random sampling every time, the profile of what we're getting is going to also be different every time. Okay, so I'm satisfied with that. So let's come back into here. Yep, we don't need that anymore because we've got our prompt. So we're basically just dynamically generating a unique prompt every single time. Okay, so then our stop sequence will be, we need \n to be one of our stop sequences. Okay, so secret word equals GPT-3 completion prompt. We'll also set the default temperature to, let's say 1.2. So yeah, so we've got that. We don't need 1,000 tokens. We'll leave it to like 100 tokens for this one. Okay, so we pick a secret word, and so then we'll just do print secret word just to make sure that it works. Oh, whoops. I need to create my GPT-3 logs directory. I always forget to do this. GPT-3 logs. Crocodile. Good one. Hat. Computer. Jimi Hendrix. Yes. Okay. I am satisfied that this is we're getting a good amount of entropy. Okay. So obviously we don't want to tell you the secret word. So then, okay, print, I have picked my secret word. Ask your first question. And so we'll do questions remaining equals 20. And we'll probably do something like questions remaining, $S, and then we'll add % questions remaining. And we'll just have this in the debug out or in the output every time. Okay, so then we say while true, so we enter into our infinite loop. The user, the read host, make sure I remember how to use read. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to make this bigger. Sorry, everyone's probably squinting at the screen saying, Dave, make it bigger, I can't see. There, sorry about that. Okay, Python, and then A equals, I think it's just read. Read host is PowerShell. And then we'll say, ask your question, scrub. Or is it input? A equals input. Ask. Yeah. Bacon. And then print A. Okay, it's input, not read. Okay, fair enough. So then you say, so the round starts, you ask your question. So question equals input. We'll just say user. And we'll start there. Or no, question. There, much better. So then, because that'll look like this. Question, are you alive? Okay, good enough. All right, so question equals input. So now we need to do some prompt engineering where we've got a secret word. Here, I'll leave the printing of the secret word right now. Debug. Just so that I can, whoops. Now, Python 20 question. %S. Oh, I added a, that's not supposed to be there. Like, what did I do wrong? Machu Picchu. Okay. Good. So if I first we need to test, is it a good question? Um, so let's just say, let's see, a user is playing 20 questions. They have asked the following question. Is this an allowed question? It must be in the form of a yes or no question. So question is person, place, or thing. And is this a yes or no question? Whoops. Why is it? Okay, it doesn't understand. We'll give it a yes or no, and we'll say false. So what I'll do is, if you do low temperature and it's something as simple as this, if you want very deterministic output, you set the temperature to 0 and give it a few examples. Let's see. So need to label it. So what we can do is just shorten it to just this pattern. So that'll save us tokens, and it'll also make it faster because it'll do less processing. And then you can also just use new line as your stop sequence. So we've got one example of each so far. That's probably sufficient. Right, false if it is not a yes or no question. Right, true if it is a yes or no question. Whoops, don't need to save that. Okay, that is probably sufficient. And so then what we'll do is we'll just save this as our valid question, or here, prompt valid. Okay. And so then we'll do question here. And its output will be what we want. Okay, so first is valid. No, we'll do prompt equals open file prompt valid dot text dot replace question with question, and then is valid equals GPT-3 completion prompt, and we'll also do temp equals 0 because we don't want any creativity with this. Okay, so then we'll do, for this, we'll do print is valid, and we'll test this real quick. Whoops. All right, debug night. I have picked my secret word. Ask your first question. What is the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow? False. Okay. Is it a thing? True. Cool. Is it a bug? So that's a valid question. Okay, good. All right. So I think that works. All right. If is valid. I wonder, can I cast this as a Boolean? Oops. I wonder if that works. Bacon? True. Let's see. How do earthquakes happen? True. I think it's only doing true. Okay. I don't think this works. Go. Let's try that again. There we go. Okay. All right. If is valid equals actually false, because this will be the shorter use case. If it is false, then we print that is not a valid question. -1 point to Gryffindor. Okay, so then we say that's fine. So then it just it iterates. So questions remaining equals questions remaining -1. And then we do continue. So if you're not familiar with Python, continue basically says, okay, wherever you're at in a loop, just go back to the beginning of the loop. So it skips the rest of whatever this is and goes from there. That's actually probably superfluous, especially if I do else if is valid equals true. Then you continue, and then the loop will end here. Actually, one thing that I can do, so this is my old school days learning Pascal, C, and C++. Often the size of the program is constrained, especially if you're doing like microcontrollers. And so what you'd actually want to do is move this, because you're always going to call questions remaining at the end, right? And so rather than have that line repeated, you do something like this. So after your if else statements, then you go. But the reason you might be wondering, okay, well, why do else? Like, why not just do if else? Why do else if? Because there's an off chance that GPT-3 will just spit out something else entirely. So we'll do let's see, answer question. But then we'll have an else statement that just print sorry, the machine is confused. Try again. No points deducted. And so we have this like debug case. So in this case, because there's different possibilities, it would be easier actually here. So then we'll do continue here because we're just skip to the end. So we'll skip this. And then what we need to do, we'll say if questions remaining is less than or equal to 0, then hashtag game over. And we're almost done, actually. Let's see. Okay, so answer the question. All right, so cat, and then we'll come in here and we'll say a user is playing 20 questions. That's a good start. They have asked the following question. Let's see. They have asked the following question. Let's see. I have to answer yes or no as to I have to answer yes or no. So let's see, how is this going to look? Because I also want to do it like a few shot, right? Because like if the secret word is cat, then I want to question like, is it a person? You'd say no. So we'll start with the question. So secret equals cat. Question equals, is it a person? Answer, no. Yeah, that should be a good format. Okay, so then we'll give it a few examples of this. So the secret would be George Washington. And then is it involved with communication? And the answer will be yes. Okay, so now let's test this. Give me one more for testing. USA. All right, secret USA. Question. Is it a popular place? Let's see what it says. Answer. And then we'll say, I refuse to answer. Yes. 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 It's a famous place. Is it, let's say, is it in the southern hemisphere? No. Okay, good. It looks like we're getting factual answers. So what we'll do is we'll copy this, and this will be our prompt answer dot text. And so then we'll do secret, and we'll do question, and then we'll leave that for answer. So that's the new line. Stop a new line. That'll be good. Okay, so all right. Prompt equals open file. We'll do prompt answer dot text dot replace secret, and this will be with secret word. And then we'll do dot replace question. Mind blank for a second there. Let me drink some more of this coffee. And then we'll do answer equals GPT-3 completion prompt. And so then we'll do print, we'll do answer. And we'll do dollar or percent answer. Okay, so the last thing we need to do before we test the questions, we need to say, is it right? Okay, so user asks a question, and then check if user is correct. And then finally, check if user has lost. Actually, I know if we go back to this prompt, we should actually just add these, and instead of answering yes or no, we'll say like final answer. Okay. So let's do it this way. So we'll just inject some of these. Is it America? We'll say correct. So we'll look for correct. So we'll actually have three possibilities: yes, no, or correct. Okay, is it Abraham Lincoln? And so that's just a no. So we'll add something like this. We'll say Harris Hilton. Is it Abraham Lincoln? No. All right. So then we need like some correct guesses. Give me a new question. A diamond. Okay. And we also need to replace guess with question so that we're consistent. Okay. Secret diamond. We've got plenty of no's. So like, let's say like, is it diamonds? And this would be correct. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3 examples of no. We've got 1, 2, 3 examples of yes, and only 2 for correct. So let's get one more correct. So then we'll have 3 examples of each category. So that should be enough to generalize. Gazelle. Is a gazelle a type of antelope? Gazelle? Is it an antelope? And we'll say correct. So like again, this is the easy mode. So we'll say like as long as you're close enough. Okay, so now we come back into our and to here. So is it valid? Yes or no? Okay. If it is valid, then we get the answer. And so then so here we want to test if the answer is correct, then you win the game. So if answer equals correct, then we say, actually here, let's do this first. If answer equals correct, print, congratulations, you won the game. And then we do exit 0. Technically, if you're building a game, you'd ask if you want to play again, but I'll let you figure that out if you want to do that. Otherwise, it will just give you the answer. It'll just give you a yes or no. Okay, I think that works. All right, so now we checked if they're correct by doing a little bit of prompt engineering. So then last, we check if they have lost. So we subtract 1, and this is pretty easy. So we say, you are out of guesses. The correct answer was, and we'll do that. And then we'll do, what was it, secret word? And then we'll do exit 0 here. Okay, I think we have a game. CLS. Okay, so I know that it's jungle. I have picked my secret word. Ask your first question. Questions remaining. Oh, I need to do that. Can you go there on foot? Yes. Okay. Is it a biome of sorts? Yes. Okay. Is it a desert? No. Is it a forest? Yes. uh, um, what kind of forest is it? That is not a valid guess. Question. -1 point to Gryffindor. Okay. So this is actually kind of hard if it picks the word jungle. Is it a jungle? Correct. You won the game. Okay. So this is going to be hard. All right. So we need to make sure we do print questions remaining. Yeah, this is good. All right, let's take a look at this output and see like answer, like question, answer, question. Here, we'll just put, we'll do %s here, and then we'll do questions remaining. So that'll just save us a line. Okay. I have picked my secret. Ask your first question. Is it a person? No. Is it a place? Yes. Is it a city? No. Is it a biome? No. Yes. Is it America? No. Um, is it in the Eastern Hemisphere? No. Is it in the, I'm going to die, Western Hemisphere? Yes. Okay, it's in the Western Hemisphere. So it's got to be, um, is it a national park or something like that? No. Is it a state? Ouch. I don't know if that's technically a place. That's more of a thing. Okay. I'm going to add this into the into this. Ouch. Is it a thing? Yes. Okay. All right. I think that's good enough. Get status, get add, get commit AM, all done, and get push. So there's lots of little things you can do to improve this. If you want to play with this, by all means, make another list of common words or harder words if you want to. And you can also do a take this out instead of and do a game loop where it'll just keep playing. But yeah, so there you have it. We have a game, a 20 questions game with GPT-3. Thanks for watching. Have a good one. Like and subscribe, and consider supporting me on Patreon. Have a good day.